All right, welcome back for some more Final Fantasy Tactics on a Thursday night PSX Classics. We are in the part of the game where we've just been named a heretic by the church. And the church is apparently the one scheming both princes in the fight. Prince Larg and Prince Goltana, they're behind both of them fighting each other. They've been behind the kidnapping of the princess, and that's who Delita is apparently working for, because he's pretending to work for Goltana by being really a double agent of the church. And actually, if you really want to be honest, Delita's not even working for the church. He's only working for himself. So everything he's doing is really just to further his own power in the world, and we're going to get a lot of evidence of that coming up very shortly. What do I want to learn? Revive, that's what I want to learn. And you throw item. Alright, nice. Now we can change you to a time mage. Yay! I don't really know if I have the best equipment for you right now. Let's go with the green beret. Oh, I did. I came prepared. There we go. Red shoes are really good. Magic +1, move +1. But I don't want you to have that. I want you to have this. Wizard Mantle. Who else do I want to have better magic? Maybe you, but I actually like the Wizard Mantle for the evade that it gives. Don't really need my mages to have that much mobility. We'll save the red shoes. Maybe you could use them. Yeah, you use them. I don't really need you. Don't really need you either. Now normally if you don't have the equipped, see I'm using the equipped armor ability here. If you don't have that, then the monk can't equip headgear. See, I have the cross helmet equipped. And in that case there is the beret. But only, I think it's only a female only, yeah. But if you have a female monk, they can equip the beret. And it cancels all kinds of status effects. So that's really nice. But I don't have a female monk. I actually think just about any female can equip the beret, right? Oh, maybe not. Oh, this is Rad, sorry. Sorry, Rad. Keith. Janet, there we go. I think it's, yeah, regardless of job, it's just a woman. It's a woman's head hairpiece. But it also is, it's kind of weak on health points, which you use armor in this game to give you health points. So yeah, if you equip the beret, it's going to take my life down quite a bit, but it does cancel insta-death, petrify, invitation, confusion, blood suck, berserk, stop, charm, and sleep. It's kind of like the ribbon in some other Final Fantasy games. Cross helm's better. Diamond arm. I guess the diamond armlet is better than the power wrist because it increases magic as well, but you don't really need magic power from my Lancer. I guess I could give it to you though. I think does Geomancy do damage based on magic stat? It might. In that case, that'd be an excellent idea to give it to you. Still got a ways to go for lightning stab. Actually, you know what? Let's do some shopping. Let's see what swords are available. Ancient sleep swords now available. Ooh. Don't mind if I do. The Aegis shield. Buy one of those too. Geomancer gonna get a level up in equipment. Sleep sword. Now the Aegis shield is mainly a magic shield. It does give magic attack +1 as well. Interesting. Let's go for it. Yeah, I think we're good here. Yeah, there's instant death abilities in this game. They're not exactly very accurate, but you know, obviously because they are insta death, they're very, very powerful. There's one of the abilities that Agrias has, the knight sword abilities, the magic sword abilities, whatever you want to call them. Here, I'll show it. Crush Punch is what it's called, and the added effect to it is death. It's just dead. It just says added dead. So like I said, it's not very effective. It's only something like it happens like 10% or less of the time that it actually inflicts death, but when it does, it doesn't matter. You're dead unless you have something that protects against instant death. And there are enemy units that do use abilities like Crush Punch that can instantly kill you. So yep, there's that. Yeah, they try to somewhat balance it by giving it a low percentage of actually working, but it happens sometimes. Now might be a good time to actually do some propositions. When the fate of the world is hanging in the balance, what better time to do side quest? You go, and you, and you. And I'll keep Janet. Oops, accidentally back. Dang it. You and you. $13 days. Yep, go. See you later. 13 days. Okay, 13 days later, we want to come back to Golan Coal City, and retrieve our units. So we got some time before we go to Orbone Monastery, and Orbone Monastery is going to be the next story event. But I want to do some propositions first. And we'll probably end up fighting a few random battles along the way. We could just move back and forth between these two cities with no battles for 13 days. It's kind of a waste though, isn't it? I forget, there's a lot of side quests in this game that are absolutely hidden. You just kind of have to move all over the world map until it activates an event. Sometimes you got to go to each city every time that there's a moment in the game where you can kind of roam around the map freely. Go from city to city until an event triggers. Doing certain propositions unlocks other propositions, which then unlock other side quests you can do. There's a lot of hidden stuff in this game that I've never really done everything in this game. There's so much that goes on. I mean, heck, you can unlock Cloud from Final Fantasy VII in this game as a hidden character, and I've never even attempted that just because there's so many darn different weird things you have to do in the game just to get it to happen. It takes forever, and I'm not even not sure like exactly how you do it. You do it. Certain propositions you got to do. You got to go to certain towns at certain points in the game, do certain side quests that I'm not even sure how to unlock. I'm gonna have to read up on that and figure it out someday, just to unlock Cloud in this game, so I say I did it, just so I can say I did it. Yeah, there's a lot of tedious grinding you can do in this game to unlock different things. And it's so funny because in the end, some of the story characters you get later on in the game are just more OP than anything you can do as far as tedious grinding. So it kind of just like, if you took your time throughout the great game and grinded out all kinds of jobs and abilities. Oh yeah, Final Fantasy VII Remake, fantastic. I love it. I love it so much. And since I probably am not going to get a PlayStation 5 for a very long time, I watched other people play the DLC with Yuffie, and it looked a lot of fun too. It looks like the combat got even better with Yuffie. I love the Final Fantasy VII Remake though. It was tons of fun. Lots of nostalgia. Alright, well, I guess we should move on from here. Yeah, it just came out a couple weeks ago. It's only for PlayStation 5 though, which rip that. It'd be nice if they released it for PS5 and PS4, but yeah, they released a DLC called Intermission with Yuffie. It's about 8 to 9 hours long, and it costs $20 if you already own the PlayStation 4. So if you already own the PlayStation 4 version of the Final Fantasy VII Remake and you have a PlayStation 5, you get the PlayStation 5 version for free. And then the DLC costs $20. And it's like 8 to 9 hours of gameplay, and it looked really amazing. I watched other people play, like several other streamers play it. And it looked really good. It looked the PlayStation 5 plays the game in 60 frames per second, so you get the 60 FPS. Also, it's in 4K. It looked absolutely amazing. The 60 frames per second really makes a big difference from the 30 frames per second that the remake runs in on PlayStation 4. It looks so amazing, so smooth and fluid. The battles go so fast. The characters just look so much better in 60 frames per second, and the lip syncing of the dialogue is so much better in 60 frames per second as well. So, since some of our other units are out, yeah, if there's a new Infamous game, yeah, PlayStation 5s are hard to find. They're actually, the price is pretty reasonable, I think. It's just the availability is ridiculous. They did not release enough units, and I don't know if that was done on purpose. I heard there's like a chip shortage or something, probably because of COVID. But yeah. Okay, you can come along, Mustadio, and we'll take a Chocobo too. Is that the best Chocobo I could take? No. But it's Boko. Everybody loves Boko. You're a better Chocobo. There we go. Now, I'd like a PS5 for many different games. The Demon Souls game looks alright because I'm a pretty big fan of the Dark Souls series. So I'd love to play the Demon Souls game. Of course, Final Fantasy VII Remake and all of the sequels of that are going to come out on PS5 now. But that's not going to be for a while. But Final Fantasy 16, of course, is a game I'd like to play whenever it does come out. It looks like the Final Fantasy series is headed back in the right direction after a misstep with 15, which don't get me even started on 15. That game, I tried to play it. I really tried to play it. I tried to like it so much, but it's just such trash. The story is actually not too bad, but the gameplay is absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. I hate that game so much. I played probably about 15 hours of that game. I wanted to give up after about 5 and just say, oh God, I can't take any more of this game, but I just kept playing going, surely it's going to get better. Maybe the combat will get better. Maybe the characters will get better. Maybe something about this game will make me like it if I just keep playing it. And I could not find anything redeemable about that game at all. I mean, I kind of like the world map, and there's some pretty cool, pretty looking locations, and that's about it. It's kind of fun to travel around in the car and take pictures. But when driving in a car and taking pictures is the funnest part about a game, yeah, I don't know. It's sad. But Final Fantasy 16 looks like it looks pretty good. What I've seen of it so far, I'm kind of like what I'm seeing. So hopefully they'll redeem themselves after Final Fantasy 15 was a failure. And the one thing that really gives me hope that 16 will be good is the fact that the Final Fantasy VII Remake is so darn good. It is absolutely fantastic. You used to need a subscription to play 14. It's an online MMORPG, and I've actually never played it, but since it's free now, there's a free trial for 100 hours. So you can play Final Fantasy 14 for 100 hours before you have to buy a subscription right now. And it really makes me want to try it out because I've heard a lot of good things about 14. I've heard it is very, very good. I'm usually not a big fan of MMOs because they're just an absolute life killer. They're a total time suck. I mean, like, pretty much if you play an MMO, like, I played Final Fantasy XI, which was the first Final Fantasy MMO, and literally, you have to play just that game every day, all the time. I mean, it's... I probably sunk 200 to 300 hours into Final Fantasy XI when it first came out. And that's all I played every day. I never played any other game, and it got old. And then I just had to quit it completely because it's a very good game, but it's just too time intensive. It takes too much of your life away. And so I never picked up 14 for that very reason, just because it's an MMO. And to me, MMOs aren't nearly as fun unless you know people in real life that you can play with on the game. But then you have to dedicate your and all of your friends' time to just playing said game in order to level up and get through the story. And you're talking like 300 plus hours just to get through the story. And then a DLC comes out with an expansion with more story. And it's like, ugh. More time spent playing the same game. I don't know. I like to play a variety of games. I mean, I do like RPGs are the primarily the type of game I play, but I do play other types of games as well. And I don't like to spend, my entire life playing the same game all the time. So I'm not a huge fan of MMOs normally. But I would like to give 14 a try because everybody says the story is one of the best Final Fantasy stories. And I tend to, the sources I've heard that from, I trust their opinions on games, so wouldn't mind giving it a try. It would be nice though if I knew people in real life that played the game so I could actually, you know, have friends to play the game with, but none of the people I actually am friends with even like Final Fantasy at all in real life. All of my Final Fantasy friends are all online. All my real life friends have never even played a Final Fantasy game at this point in my life. So there's that. Dying Light is an amazing game. I've never played Dying Light. I don't think I've even ever seen a video of it. I'll have to look that up. Yeah, 200 hours on your PS4? Wow. It must be a really in-depth game then to play that many hours of it. The only games I think I've ever really played, put that many hours into, are online MMORPGs. Or, I don't know. I've played Final Fantasy VII, the original, so many times. I'm sure I've put 300 to 400 hours into it, just in replays and challenge playthroughs and mods that I've played. Like on Mondays, I play mods of Final Fantasy VII. So yeah. I've played this game so many different times too that I've probably put over 200 to 300 hours into this game as well. Just not in one singular playthrough. Yeah, killed my chocobo. If only I had more of them. So monsters are a little different than people. If they die in battle and you don't revive them, like my chocobo just did, you just lose them. So we just lost the chocobo. But we got plenty of more in our reserves. But they were the most powerful chocobo we had, so that's unfortunate. So that was one day. 12 more to go. 11 more to go. Okay, so we got 11 more, we got 10 more, and another battle. Woohoo! Now, black chocobos can fly and they have other magic abilities. We'll take you. I wish you could start the battle out riding the chocobo. Like in the battle, you can actually ride them and they increase your movement by a ton. But if you could just start out the battle on it, like if I could just place him on top of the chocobo to start the battle, that would be absolutely incredible. The sequel is coming out. And the new Horizon game. Yes, I'm definitely looking forward to that. Yeah, I'm so glad they're releasing the Horizon game on both PS4 and PS5 because so many people don't have a PS5 right now. I think honestly, if you want your game to sell at all right now, you need to release it on both systems because PS5s are just not widely owned at the moment because of the shortage. So it would be wise if you're releasing a new game to put it on both systems. But yeah, I can't wait for the new Horizon game. It looks fantastic. Of course, all the footage I've seen of it is played on a PS5, so it probably looks more fantastic than it's going to look when I play it on PS4. But hey, it's still going to be fun, and I love Aloy as a character. She's one of my favorite video game characters of all time. She's so fantastic. The swimming mechanics in the game were amazing too, to me. Like the trailer I saw where they were swimming underwater, it looks so beautiful with all the fish and the way the water looked and the way just the way she was swimming through the water. It looked so fluid and awesome. I was like, man, this is some of the best graphics in a game I've ever seen in my life. This is absolutely a piece of, like, a work of art. Just amazing. I agree with you, Watchdog. As long as it's playable, fun, and has a decent story, I will be happy as well. As good as the story was in the first game, and as well as it was written and thought out, I'm pretty confident that they're going to be able to pull off yet another great game with a good story. Yeah, I think so. I think there's going to be some type of underwater combat going on from the looks of it. There's also like a glider in the game too. It kind of like after Breath of the Wild, every game has to have a glider, apparently. But the gliding looked fun too. Like it definitely makes her more mobile. Even more mobile than she was before. I mean, she was already ridiculously mobile. And some of the new weapons she was using in the trailer too look really awesome as well. And the new enemies too, man. That elephant. Yeah. That giant elephant she was battling in the trailer they released at wherever that was, whenever that was, I can't remember. Several weeks ago I watched it. That was absolutely breathtaking. That whole fight with the elephant. This is exactly what I loved about the last one, was like how, I don't know, how in depth the battle system was with all the different things you can do, like removing parts from machines and taking their weapons and using them against them, and all the crazy things you can do in that game with the combat. It's so much fun. It's definitely one of the funnest gameplay games I've ever played, just as far as how cool the combat is and how many different ways you can go about fighting monsters and disassembling their pieces and messing them up. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the Thunder Jaws are such a crazy thing to fight in the original game. The first time you fight one of those things, it's so intimidating. How many weapons and how big it is that it has. It's scared the crap out of me trying to fight that thing the first time. I'm just like, how do I even go about fighting this thing? It's insane. And then you get good at it, and it makes you, it's such a feeling of accomplishment. Like, oh my gosh, I can beat this huge, scary thing. I can't imagine, though, in the future when games like that go to VR, people are going to literally be like crapping their pants, like literally. Some huge monster like that comes over the horizon and you're like in the game and they have all that haptic feedback hooked up to you where you can like feel the vibrations in your body like you're really there. You're going to have a lot of people having to have clean their underwear. I can see that happening for sure. The haptic feedback on some of those VR systems is ridiculous. It really makes you feel like you're there. I'm not too big into VR. It's almost a little too much for me. And it's only going to get better and better, so it's only going to make it feel more and more realistic. I like video games to escape from reality, not to create an alternate reality. I mean, I totally get the appeal, but it's almost too much. Yeah, the VR treadmill. I know, it's getting to be too much. I'm not physically fit and in shape enough to be running away for real. Not only gonna crap my pants, but I'm gonna have a heart attack too. Trying to kill me, game? Like, literally kill me? It's gonna end up being like the Matrix. You die in the game, you die in real life. Yeah, most extreme difficulty indeed. There's gonna be a setting on there called realistic. And like I said, it's gonna be like the Matrix. What happens to you in the game actually happens to you in real life. Alright, goodbye. Random enemies. I think we've grinded enough with random battles. We can go ahead and just finish off the proposition, get our characters back, and move along with this story. close to revive. We only need 500. So only 63 more job points for you, sir. Already learned yours. Ooh, so close to lightning stab. He's only got 53 more points. You, sir, learned Seal Evil is a good one. And eventually gets gain JP up. I don't know. I'm not going to use Mustadio very much, but might as well learn a few abilities for him. Like Seal Evil is a really good one. Any undead, and it's an insta kill for any undead. So that's pretty cool. Alright, so what was this? 10 days left on this submission. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. It should be back, or is it one more day? Oh, one more day. And 1. Yeah, you have to bring up the it's not supposed to be like you're in real life argument when you and your friends play sometimes. You play games together. Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. Like I play this clip for my daughter all the time because she gets angry when she loses to me in a video game.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
So yeah, I troll her with that clip a lot. It's only a game. Why you have to be mad? Oh yeah, what am I trying to do? I need to report. There we go. Report job. We left Golden City. Departed for the site at Coleman Mines. Well, it's like when people try to pull apart fantasy novels and be like, "How did this happen? That's not realistic." And I'll be like, "It's a fantasy novel, for goodness sakes. The title of the genre is fantasy. It's fantasy." Of course it's not realistic. It's not supposed to be. I had a good feeling. That area is famous for monsters, but we tried our best. As a result, we were able to excavate it. Different ores were found from the dike, but there was one big one that stood out. Cindy opened it with faith. Inside there was a precious ore. I guess this one was a success. This is the way. These parts aren't badly translated at all. That's all there is to report. Any more propositions? Nah. Alright. So, by doing that, we should have gotten enough of job points to learn some abilities here. I want to set you with items. I want to set you with throw items to learn some time magic. Ooh, you didn't get as many job points as I was hoping. The propositions are good for job points for characters, but I don't know. It almost like if I would have taken these units with me and fought those 2 random battles I just fought, they probably would have gotten more job points than they got on this proposition. Don't move is not very accurate. Slow is a decent one, but haste is so much better. What I really want to do is save up for quick. That is a really good one. And meteor. Of course, look at the GP you have to save up to get those 2. 1,500 for this one and 800 for this one, so it's like 2,300 total job points just to learn these 2 abilities, but they're so good. I don't know if I want to learn slow and don't move or not. I think I'm just gonna save the job points we got to learn quick and meteor. They're too good. They're too good not to learn. Getting close. Over, well, about halfway to flare. That's good. Yep. Oh, there you go. Geomancer. And we can learn our final Geomancy there. And we'll learn Attack up next. Alright, well. It's time to continue on with the story, to go to Oribone Monastery, where Alma says she's found a stone of some sorts. One of the Zodiac stones, possibly? Well, I guess we'll find out when we get there. See you in the next one, YouTube.